Now I will talk on scaphoid fractures. Scaphoid is the largest bone in proximal carpal row. More than 75% of scaphoid bone is covered by articular cartilage. Major blood supply is dorsal carpal branch, a branch of radial artery. Enters scaphoid bone in a non-articular ridge on the dorsal surface and supplies proximal 80% of the scaphoid via retrograde blood flow. The scaphoid bone flexes with a wrist flexion and radial deviation and extends during a wrist extension and ulnar deviation. Scaphoid is most frequently fractured carpal bone, often occurring after a fall on outstretched hand. It constitutes 15% of acute wrist injuries, 60% of all carpal fractures. These fractures can be problematic for several reasons. Difficulty initial detection, slow healing, their potential towards avascular necrosis of the proximal pole, and subsequent arthritic degeneration associated with the non-union. Coming to the classification, the scaphoid bone most commonly fractures through its waist. The waist fractures constitute almost 65% of the fractures of the scaphoid. Proximal third 25%, distal third 10%. Distal pole is the most common location for fracture in the pediatrics due to ossification sequence. This is anatomical classification. There is a Herbert and Fisher classification based on fracture stability. Type A fractures, stable and acute fractures. Type B, unstable, acute fractures. Distal oblique, complex waist, proximal pole, transcaphoid, perineal associated fractures are come under type B fractures. Type C, delayed union characterized by cyst formation and fracture gap widening. Type D, non-union. Clinical presentation. Patients will present with a pain over the wrist after fall on outstretched hand. They will have mild wrist swelling in case of a isolated scaphoid fracture. If there is a transcaphoid perineal dislocation, they will have a deformity and gross swelling. They will have anatomical snub box tenderness dorsally, scaphoid tubercle tenderness volarly. Scaphoid compression test would be positive. If these three, scaphoid anatomical box tenderness, tubercle tenderness and scaphoid compression test are positive, then there will be 87 to 100% sensitivity and 74 specificity when all these three tests are positive within 24 hours of injury. Coming to the investigations, you have to do X-ray of the wrist, PA, and lateral, semi-pronated, oblique views, scaphoid view. If radiographs are negative and patient has the symptoms, there is a high chances of fracture. Apply a plaster, scaphoid cast, repeat X-ray after 2 to 3 weeks. Bone scan has got a specificity of 98%, sensitivity of 100%. When done at 72 hours, we can do CT scan, but it is not 100% sensitive and specific. MRI is sensitive, specific accuracy that ranges from 70 to 99% in different studies published in orthopedic journals. Scaphoid shape and resting position make it difficult to image with the radiographs. In addition to being used to definitely demonstrate scaphoid healing, CT scanning improves the intra-observer reliability of quantifying displacement and is also better at predicting fracture displacement and instability than X-ray alone. CT scan improves the reliability of detecting scaphoid fracture displacement. And there was one study published in JBG 2006 that suggests that computed tomography CT scans are useful for ruling out a displacement, not for diagnosing a fracture. because of the orientation of the scaphoid bone and its position. MRI provides a comparable sensitivity and specificity when detecting occult scaphoid fractures, but it is not 100% sensitive to in detecting scaphoid fractures according to some studies. Coming to the treatment. Distal pole fractures are routinely treated non-operatively with an excellent healing potential, while proximal pole fractures present the greatest chance of non-union and are routinely addressed surgically. Now coming to the scaphoid waist fractures. Surgical fixation is the consensus treatment for displaced scaphoid fractures. However, there is a considerable debate regarding treatment for non-displaced and minimally displaced less than 1 millimeter scaphoid waist fractures. Functional outcomes, satisfaction, time to union, time to return to work, and final hand strength favored surgical treatment, but that range of motion, pain, and complications did not favor either surgical fixation or a cast immobilization. Better to fix if it is displaced. Scaphoid non-unions. Treatment for scaphoid non-unions continues to evolve. Some have reported good results with a screw fixation supplemented with a cancellous autograft, while others have employed cortical strut grafts when treating non-unions without avascular necrosis. In the setting of avascular necrosis of the proximal pole, surgeons may consider the use of a vascularized grafting. Scaphoid fractures in children and adolescents. While majority 90% of acute non-displaced fractures heal with a non-operative treatment, 3 months of cast immobilization or more may be required for more proximal injuries. Coming to the complications, scaphoid non-union, osteonecrosis, malunion, stiffness, scaphoid non-union, advanced collapse, wrist arthritis are the common complications of scaphoid fracture.